The Wicker Man, starring Nicolas Cage. A truly awful movie. But it's awful in a very special way.
That being that out of all his films, we know that quite clearly this one is absolute shit.
And now, it's my turn. Hey everyone, it's Movie Lover 120 here, and I'm here with episode 13. I think it is, yeah. Actually, no, it's episode 12 of my Halloween horror movie review series. And that is for none other than, okay, if we're going to start, it's actually not a positive review, it's actually going to be a very negative review for a certain horror movie. It was another remake, except it's actually a really, really bad remake of this film called The Wicker Man. But before I start things off, let me just say that I absolutely really love the 1973 original film. It's just very phenomenal. It's well crafted, and it's a perfect pageant horror film. And plus, it's probably one of late actor Christopher Lee's best performances ever. Yeah, it's actually very phenomenally filmed. It's terrifying, it's bizarre at times, and it captures the horror feel perfectly. Everything. I would give the 1973 one a watch. Well, if you're old enough, of course. But, however, the version I'm actually going to be talking about is this one. Yep, the one that sparked this meme.
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Ah! Open my eyes! Eyes! Ah!
So yeah, for this review, I'm actually going to be talking about how much the one starring Nicolas Cage sucks. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, around 2006, there was a remake, an American remake, released in 2006, of this amazing 1973 called horror film. They basically take one of the best horror films of the 70s and one of the scariest pageant films of all time with this one, and they crap on it. No, they literally crap all over the original film. Okay, so I understand. I respect opinions. If you weren't a fan of the 1973 horror film The Wicker Man, but for what it was trying to accomplish, it did it perfectly, and it was actually perfectly shot. For those that obviously hate the 1973 film, it's obviously the same people that would watch another bad remake like The Grudge and say it's actually scary. Maybe I'll do a negative review on that film, but I'm not going to get into it right now. It's so crappy, it sucks. But anyway, back on track with The Wicker Man. Well, what is this movie about? Well, much like the original film, it's about this cop who played by Nicolas Cage, who sets off to this island of Summersisle to find this missing child that belongs to his ex-girlfriend. And each step of the search draws him deeper into a web of pageant rituals and deadly sleep and closer to the Wicker Man. So yeah. Basically, there's just so many laughably bad dialogue in this film. This movie is actually, yeah, it sucks, but it's actually so bad, it's actually pretty funny. There's so many laughable lines from Nicolas Cage, and it's one of the big examples is when he arrives at the island and he sees this bloody tarp and he's like to the woman carrying it, "What's in the bag? Shark or something?" Oh yeah, of course it'd be a shark. Or oh yeah, in the beginning scene there's this apparently mom and daughter that get killed in this car crash and he's unable to save them. And you want to know what happens throughout the movie? Throughout the movie, he keeps having this nightmare of the car crash, and it adds literally nothing to the story. Like, just why is he constantly dreaming of this car crash if he's trying to find a child on an island? Like, it's such an awful plot. Now, then again, it borrows the plot from the original film because it's a remake, so I'm not saying that's really awful, just the way they set up this version of the plot is awful. Like, just the concept of remaking The Wicker Man is just awful alone. Like, it's just like saying, oh hey, back in 1973 this movie was successful in the United Kingdom, so let's just do it all over again, except sell it in our country and make it Americanized. And make all the villagers women. Yeah, that's pretty much this version. Yeah, oh yeah, then another thing, I do see it coming, but apparently the last scene with the Wicker Man was actually somewhat ruined for me, with a few brief glimpses in the trailer and the back of the DVD cover for the remake. Like, you don't put the last death, glimpses of the last death or infamous twist ending in your trailer. You don't do it, or your back of your DVD cover. It's not just the most infamous downer ending, it's also, spoilers guys, the last kill of the movie. You don't put that in your trailer, you idiots. I mean just brief glimpses. And you don't put it on your back of your DVD cover for those who haven't seen the original, you stupid morons. Alright, so, and of course there's so much numerous failed attempts at scares, and even more laughable dialogue. There's such as, especially, there's one where Nicolas Cage's character is holding this burned doll, and he's asking his ex-girlfriend, going, how did you bird? How did you bird? How did you bird? How did you bird? It's just awesome. Oh yeah, and there's another one where he encounters one of the villagers riding a bike. And he's like, get off the bike. And he points the gun at the girl. He's like, step away from the bike. And then the girl gets off the bike and he's like, take your stupid mask. And then just steals the bike. And let's not forget the most hilarious moment of all, where he's in the bear suit. Yeah, like, he just, apparently, the people who made this version thought it would be creepier if he donned the bear suit and joined the villagers in the march. And once he does finally find a little girl, and he walks up to this one female villager who's guarding the whole pole she's tied up to. The girl's like, what is it? What's wrong, sister? And then Nicolas Cage's bear suit just whacks the girl, and she just falls unconscious. And I think I may post a link to the scene with the bear suit, so you all know what I'm talking about. But oh yeah, and the character Nicolas Cage plays, the cop, is not even a likable character at all. And there's so much obvious foreshadowing. Like, if they really want to kill him so bad, why didn't they just do it when he got at the island? But could have saved us 100 painful minutes of our life. We're gonna not even get back after watching this. It's just rampant sexism, numerous built-up scares. Now, the only redeeming quality is that it's actually, yeah, it's so bad it's funny. Nick Cage in a bear suit. The overacting is pretty fun at times, and maybe the soundtrack is a little okay, but it's still a cruddy remake. It's easily one of the worst horror movies of all time. It's, despite being so laughably bad, you can watch this for a comedy if you're willing to get a good laugh, but if you wanting a movie that will scare you, I would avoid this version like the plague and watch this masterpiece. Just stick with the original if you want a good horror film. Yeah. So, yeah guys, now, how would I rank The Wicker Man, the Nicolas Cage version? Well, here is how I would rank it. I am going to give The Wicker Man 2006 a 1 out of 10. So anyway guys, that'll be finally it for my Nicolas Cage Wicker Man review. And, so, you're all wondering, what am I going to be reviewing next? Well, this one that I accidentally grabbed when I was about to announce my Hills of Eyes review is next. Yes, guys. The Mist is going to be a next review, and finally actually a good horror movie for once. Yeah. One that's actually will erase my mind of having to talk of that horror Nicolas Cage Wicker Man remake. So yeah. With that being said, that'll be it for this review, guys. Thank you all for watching. And if you like this, want some more, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Movie Lover 120.